What's up, guys? We're here. Welcome back to the channel. So we're feeling a little bit better today, so we're continuing the beginner series of Path of Exile. So today we're going to be talking about the passive tree and also giving you some campaign tips when you first start the game. So let me go over to the to Act 1 just so we can be in the very beginning area. Now let's talk about the passive tree. Now, this is probably one of the biggest barrier of entry problems to this game, is because everybody sees this passive tree and goes, holy crap, how am I supposed to navigate this thing? How am I supposed to know what passives are good, this, that, and the other? It is a lot, but understand that each of these little wheels here, so each of these little wheels is a character's starting zone. So as you can see here, this is the shadow. This is a starting zone for the shadow character that I'm playing. And you can see here that, like, I'm not using all the nodes. I'm treeing down to specific nodes that I need for my build. Now, let's go over to max roll really quick because I want to show you guys something. In a lot of people's path of building, or even here on max roll, if you're following a guide like you should be as a new player, what we have here is this little ticker, and it'll show you exactly what passives to take when you first are leveling up through the game, and the path that you should take in order for your character to be pretty strong as you're going through the campaign. See, 31, then we'll swap, and then these things are going to change. We're going to move up, right? Comes back and gives us some more skills, and then it's going to add on and some are going to change. So following a guide and seeing exactly what nodes to take is not only going to make it a whole lot easier for you, but it's going to make the overall enjoyment of your gameplay like better. You're going to have more fun enjoying your character as you're playing. And what this will do too is you'll kind of start to understand why nodes are particularly good for the build that you're playing, especially through the campaign, and kind of what they do. Like, for example, this red node here is a chance to make an enemy's resistances inverted. So meaning that when you hit the enemy, instead of them having, let's say, 50% fire res, it makes it inverted, so it's the opposite, which is better for you as a player when you're dealing elemental damage, which this particular build is, because I'm dealing fire damage. So if it makes their fire resistance inverted, that means they don't have any more fire resistance, and I get to deal more damage because now they're not as resistant to my attacks. So following this through in the passive tree, very basics, guys. You're just going to follow from the base and just follow what the guide is telling you to do. That way, it'll just make it really, really easy for you. I'm going to go in here and show you this as well. So this is what it'll look like on somebody's POB. So down here in the corner, we'll have all these different ones. This is my leveling guide for shadows. So if you're going to play shadows, then this is a really good one for you. It might be one of the best leveling builds in the game. We'll have a whole nother video on this. But now the only issue with the POB is that it doesn't tell you, like max roll, like which ones to take in a specific order. It just is, I'm giving you the ones to take while you're using this up to level 12. So you're just going to follow these points around, go up, down, and then over, and then you'll click on the next thing, and you'll see that all of these are here. I actually need to go back and change this. So we actually need to add these three, because we're not doing those. Boom. Let me save. So it's going to show you exactly what to take as you go through, and then explosive concoction is going to add all this, and you're just going to follow the path down until you get everything that you need for the build. Until you get everything that you need for the build, and you are good to go. So that's passive trees in the most basic sense, guys. Don't get overwhelmed by this. Don't feel like there's just too much. Just follow the guide, and then, you know, look at all the nodes and what they do. So like, for example, you know, when you first start, like, this is giving you increased chaos damage, because the skill that I'm using in the very beginning is Cobra Lash, which is a poison skill. So I'm using a poison skill, which is chaos damage, and having more chaos damage allows me to do more poison damage, which makes me overall do more damage, right? Same thing here as you're going through. Then there's stuff like increased attack speed, plus to your dex and intelligence, you know, 10% increased max life. So the nodes themselves are not too hard to understand. We can do a separate video that goes really in depth into the passive tree, but for the basics, just follow the guide and you guys will be just fine. Now, let's talk about some campaign tips. When you are first starting in the Axe, you're going to have all these different zones that you're going to go through, and you get all these quests from the vendors, right? You get all these quests from the vendors that kind of guide you on the way through the campaign, just like most ARPGs do. What I would tell you to do is just do all the quests. Now, there's a way to do this where you skip a lot of quests because you only need to do specific quests to get through the game the fastest. But as a new player, that's going to make things too confusing for you. So what I would tell you to do is to just do every quest. And how you know you've completed it is on this side. The gray means they are complete. And then the ones on the left side of this bar means these are ones you still have to do, which is fine. And it tells you exactly when you click on it where it is. So it'll tell you where you have to go and then what you have to do. Clear the feeded pool of all the undead. And that's it. Search the mud flats for the entrance of the feeded pool. So you're going to go into the mud flat and into the mud flats. You find the feeded pool, and then you're going to kill all the monsters in there, and then your quest is done. Also, on the right side here, you have all of these quests that are going to show you what you need to do, right? You can also click this exclamation point, which pulls up your map and shows you exactly where you need to go. So that is very important. So that's just some basic tips here. Now, also when you're playing, you're going to get these things called Scrolls of Wisdom and Portal Scrolls. Portal Scrolls do exactly what they sound like. They're going to give you a portal to town. So if I go into the coast here, you got a portal, takes you back to town, and you're good to go. Now, be mindful when you're going through the campaign, you're not going to get a lot of these items. And the Scroll of Wisdom identifies the items. So if you have something that's unidentified, just like in Diablo 2, you're going to right click on it and identify the item. You can also use this to buy gems from Nessa. So for example, you can go over to Nessa and buy skill gems. So split arrow is another gem depending on what build you're playing, and it'll cost 1 Scroll of Wisdom. It'll also tell you on here what the cost is for these: an orb of transmutation, a scroll, orbs of chance, etc. Skill gems are pretty cheap, but just be careful when you're going through the campaign because you're not going to get a lot of these. So the basic tips are to try to hold on to these. Another quick tip is that you can take this Orb of Alteration and sell it, and it'll give you 4 Scrolls of Wisdom, which is really, really nice. So if you're running low on these, you can just sell an orb and you'll be good to go. So outside of that, guys, just do every single quest through the campaign. That way you get familiar with killing all the monsters, leveling up, getting all through the gear, getting through and completing like each zone, so that way you don't leave any stone unturned, and you guys are going to be good to go. That would be my tips for that, guys, through the campaign. Outside of that, it's not too complicated, I would say, as a new player. Just follow everything to a T. And again, when you're searching through the map, just know that you have to go to the coast, find the mud flats, and then you're going to go to the leftmost section of the map, and that's how you're going to find the area. It's kind of exactly how it is on the map when you go through. So if I was to go into the coast, I would need to just follow this way, because if I'm here and I need to go up like this way, so we want to follow it this way until we find it, right? We just kind of want to follow it through. Now, it may seem a little wonky at first, but if you follow it just like it is on the map, then you should be good. I'm just following the outside so you guys can see. Now, I will tell you that not every single time it's made to perfectly. So you will have some RNG on the map, but here goes the waypoint, and then boom, the mud flats. So you can kind of see that we went up this way, which is exactly where it is. It's up to the right. So we kind of went this way. We were hoping it was here, but that's okay. Now it's over here. We go to the mud flats. Now from the mud flask, we need to find the feeded pool, which is going to be up to the left. So what we want to do is we just kind of want to blast through here as fast as we can, right? And find the feeded pool. So anytime you see one of these arrows, that's a signal to another area. So boom, the feeded pool, which is exactly where it was, guys, up into the left. Then we come in here for this quest. We want to kill all the monsters in here. And I'm using explosive concoction, which is probably one of the best skills in the game for leveling through the campaign. So if you guys are interested in that, I'll have the build guide out there for you. It's really going to only be good for about 4 classes, but it's just super strong. So you see we're going through. Now we killed the necromancer. He's dead. We haven't killed all the monsters yet, so don't leave. See, it's one full area. Now to get the map like this, all you're gonna do is press tab. Otherwise you can leave it up in the top right hand corner if you're used to playing like other ARPGs. I kind of go back and forth with it because I'm not, you know, I don't want too much screen clutter. But let's make sure we kill everything in here. Don't leave any stone unturned. It's a small little run. Okay, so we must have missed something because there's 2 monsters remaining. There goes one. One monster remaining. He's over here somewhere. I found him somewhere. Dead. Okay. So now talk to Tarklin for a reward. So we're going to portal. It's going to take us back to our town. If you don't have any portal scrolls, that's fine. You can run back and use a waypoint. And then we're going to talk to him. He's going to give us a book of regrets. And the big book of regrets gives us 2 passive respec points. So what respec points are, guys, is when you're coming through, you're going to get these respec points where you can refund a passive. And what this does is it allows you to remove a skill and put that point into somewhere else on your skill tree, which we'll come into later. But yeah, guys, that is the passive tree and some beginner tips for the campaign. Just do them all. Don't overcomplicate the passive tree. Just follow the guide, and you guys will have a really fun experience. So like the video, comment down below if you guys have any questions, and as always, stay gaming. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.